All right, welcome back in. We are here together with the crew, and we're here for office hours for the ongoing community hackathon that is going on. And today is the final submission day. So you still have time. Is it midnight tonight? Is that the official deadline? Yeah.
Yes.
So you could whip out, you could even get started right now and get something submitted in time by midnight. So if anybody is out there and still thinking about submitting, or you're working on something and you need some last minute suggestions, or if you're stumped on something, join us. The link is in the Slack community. And so if you're watching on YouTube, you can join us. I'll put the link in the Slack or in the comments for people to come in and join us. But while people are thinking about that, let's see. So yeah, today is the last day. It's been going for since March 1st, so a little over 2 weeks of submissions. Walk us through what happens. What happens after today once the submissions are final? What does that look like?
Absolutely. So after today, there are 3 prizes. There are one is awarded by Airtable themselves. That will be an AI specific prize. One is going to be awarded by the 3 of us here, Camille, Erica, and myself. So that's super exciting. So we'll be reviewing all of the videos that people submit over the next 3 days. We're going to talk over what we like, and we'll pick a winner out of those. And then there's a third prize, which is community chosen. So the most likes videos on YouTube. So super exciting. Last year was really, really fun to see all of the submissions. So creative. So some of them were like just super funny. Some of them were fun. Some of them were like actual, like full, systems to run businesses. It was wild. So we're really excited to see what the community comes up with. And I'm going to do a quick plug for Mike Simmons here. If you haven't already, go to his LinkedIn and check out his demo that he posted. He literally built Guitar Hero inside of Airtable. It is wild.
Cool.
And just for clarification, should other contestants be worried about going up against Guitar Hero?
Yeah, no. This was him showing what you could do and playing around with it. And it's like just absolutely wild. Like I had no idea that you could even make it make sound in the first place. So that it's just, there's all these doors that are yet to be opened, I think. And it's an exciting time.
And we have with us, we should recognize Erica Pasquale. Is that good enough? Yeah. So Erica is the winner of the first hackathon. You won in 2 categories, is that right?
Yeah, the AI one and the most likes. I thought my most likes was how I was gunning for it. So I was like, guys, look at this and like it.
So we had her come on. So she went from winning contestant to now being a judge. So she will be one of the judges with Ali and Camille. And we thought it'd be good to have her on and showcase what your winning last hackathon winning submission was. So we'll get to that in a second. We should also announce this week, if you're in New York, I believe on Thursday in New York at the Airtable offices, there's a build-a-thon, which is essentially a live building. I believe registration is already closed for it, so it might be too late to register. But that is going on. Are they going to broadcast that? I wonder if that's going to be, there'll be a live broadcast.
I don't remember seeing any information on it being streamed. It's basically an all-day event, so that might be a little tough. But I think it'll be interesting seeing the submissions out of it. So hopefully those will be available just so everyone else can see if they couldn't make it to New York.
Yeah, that one's AI focus, and they have like there's some bounties that they'll have throughout the day. So anybody that specializes in a specific topic or something, yeah. So you'll choose a track. So there's 5 tracks: sales, marketing, product, legal, and creative.
Mhm.
And then you'll record your demo at the end of it. And they have real cash money that they're giving out, up to $100,000 up for grab. So that will be exciting to see what comes of that.
I'm super excited about it.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at the website and they do make reference to recording booths. So record demos, walkthroughs, and hot takes. So
Interesting.
wonder where
There's
those
even
recordings are going.
Yeah. It's going to
And
be
a
a
live-
live DJ.
Yeah. Red carpet.
Food and
Wild.
caffeine too.
Oh my goodness. I really wish I could go. I would love. I was trying to think, do we know anybody that's going? I think is Rob Widener, I believe.
I believe Rob will be there. Yeah.
You're going,
I'm
Erica?
for that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, I totally missed that. Amazing.
Yeah, I was like, cash prizes. If I just win one prize, it'll cover my trip funds.
Yeah, the pricing structure, I think this is probably the biggest distribution. The very first hackathon they did had a similar total of prizes, 100,000, but there were only 11 winners for that one. This one, it's $2,000 bounties up to an amount of 50,000, and then the grand prize winner gets 50,000. So quite the incentive to go if you can, spare the day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
All right, Erica. We're
Run it.
counting on you. Bring home the cash.
I'll do my best.
Very cool.
Amazing.
Cool. Well, should we let's see what Erica's got. Hopefully anybody else want to jump in. We'd love to help out. If not, we'll go through this. But Erica, let me put yours on the screen. There it is. Tell us what you're up to.
Okay, so in essence, I really wanted to make this more like a widespread kind of dodgeball app, but I'm sure you guys run into the same thing with like licenses and like users, and I don't think anyone's as obsessed in terms of dodgeball as I to pay for that license. But with that said, if somebody had access to Airtable and wanted to use
So
this,
give us the backstory. How did you get into dodgeball?
I graduated college, got into friends. A friend brought me in, and I just fell in love with dodgeball so much. There's just something about playing the game. I know a lot of people don't. I don't want to get hit in the face with balls and stuff. And, there's not as many women in the sport. I mean, it's been raising up a lot, but I don't know. There's the adrenaline, the strategy that comes with dodgeball. It touches my heart so much. And it's lasted since I started in 2012, the beginning of 2012, been playing till now, and now broken. But to outlay my profile for dodgeball, people can put in their name, their bio, email address, collaborator, and then we have some links for registration for dodgeball tournaments. And then I have a nice, neat timeline. In 2026, there was one tournament that I didn't go to due to injury, but we'll look at last year. That was the main prime prize of the tournaments, but I only went to a few. But just tracking wise, we have this, and I think I have a calendar. That's my workout calendar. Tournaments year. I think it's in here. Sorry. I remember there was one. Maybe it's this one. No.
Is it a visualization of one of the list views on that screen before?
Yeah, it was like a timeline view. Yeah, this one where you can see my history of all the tournaments since then. And I think if I go into these tournaments, then I can see the division that I played in, as well as, well, the team that I had played with way back when in 2022 when I first moved to Texas. So originally I played in Chicago, moved down here, then reconnected with the Texas people and kind of been inputting their information on the back end so I could, learn from their skills. There's a lot of there's actually, I think, 4 USA dodgeball players that are actually housed or based in Dallas now. So that's really cool. And then if we go back to my profile, if I was working on throw power and accuracy. There's certain things that the USA Dodgeball recruiters are judging players on, and then they have certain rounds and tournaments that they're looking for that display, and then based on that they recruit them for a combine to try out for the USA Dodgeball team. And so I think I did this one this morning for throwing accuracy, where if I had supporting exercises, I could add that in. I have a lot of exercises that I hold on for myself to reference. But for my training goal, I had added one this morning that has those skills, what I want success to look like for that. And then what I want, the outcome to be, and what my current state is. And then from this information, I can build out a workout plan, which is where I recruited Omni a lot. And to be honest, why I was really, really excited about this hackathon, I didn't even really get into AI because in my work, cybersecurity, we don't really have access to that. So I'm not really too well versed in that, and it was still new, so I was hesitant, but this was my opportunity. I was like, okay, that's what they're looking for, let's try it out, let's go. And so for this one, I just have a back end for the instruction. Oh, it's probably tiny. Zoom. Ooh, can you guys see that? I don't know how to get you guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I wish there's no way to expand these instructions, right? To make it big. You just have, tiny box.
No. People have been complaining about that since they first released these. It's like the window's way too small.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they have, on other areas, they have that little drag box. They should just, their table, add some drag boxes here. Help us out. But I think I saw other videos of how people were doing it, and I found this button for edit with add AI. And so I'm just like, create me a 30-day improvement plan, and I kind of had it drafted for me, and it was pretty good with the outcome here for the 30-day plan based on what I'm looking for. And then with that, I generate an exercise list, which I think, I would just ask Omni, or no, this one was just a refresh based on this 30-day improvement plan so that I can get a more granular list and I can start tracking by those exercises. And then, I already ran it, but for here is when I would ask Omni to actually create the exercises using this button. And then it generated the different exercises so that we can put it into my workout calendar, which I had also run this morning to put in entries for this clear impact on outcome of the game and what exercises I should be doing. And then I think from in there, then I have my workout plan. And then KPI metrics for what I want to focus on. So right now it's probably want to save my knee, low impact, strengthen, and stability. which is what I'm working on in PT right now. And then you can generate, yeah, and then so we're starting on the 23rd, and I can also reference workout templates that I had previously, but a lot of them are like really more robust, not really recovery and stability. So we won't choose any of that. And then I had my injury report back from August. And then if we were to generate our workout plan, oh, it does need that one. We'll do reaction time. That doesn't hurt my knee. And we'll run this agent. And then it'll create the workout plan that I have for today based on all those inputs coming in. And then we can also ask to create those exercise entries in it. And I haven't gotten that far, so now you guys can see that one. It worked last time, so fingers crossed. And then usually when this goes to my calendar, and then usually I just complete those exercises as I go. But habits are hard, having to, make yourself work out, getting in that routine. Still a human who struggles with that, but it's here for me. So far, so good. Any questions on? I feel like I might have. I'm like I just go for it.
Not really questions, but it's always interesting, and I do this too. If I'm rediscovering a complicated base that I've built before, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is here. Forgot about that."
I try to. I like leaving breadcrumbs for future Erica. I'm like, I know this is going to happen down the line. I'm not going to fully build it out, but I know I need these pieces. So as long as they're there, I was like, oh, okay, this is where past Erica was thinking. I'll just finish it out now.
What was your impression? So this being your first kind of really leveraging the AI functionality in Airtable, what was your impression, learning curve?
I think it's interesting when I just have to ask it a second time, and then it actually gives me an answer. Like I think in my original video that I submitted, like I went through like the work path just to make sure that I don't like run into any obstacles as I was making the video. And I think it was this one that just sometimes it's like, I can't do that. I can't make records, but I don't know if it was user error for me that I didn't click on a specific element, because sometimes that is kind of confusing, but sometimes you don't need to click that element for it to happen. So it's not very clear to me. So it was a lot of trial and error. Is this going to work? And then what's the outcome? How can I modify it? And then it's just kind of, that takes a lot of time. I will also say, so for my submission for the hackathon that's ending today, it was a very simple prompt. If the number is odd, put this. If the number is even, put this. And sometimes it was wrong. And I was like, I don't understand what is happening here, but it should be fairly simple. But I like want to trust it. But sometimes when I see those like little nuanced things, I was like, can I always trust you? Which also comes to the trust and verify. But to be honest, I was really impressed when it was making its own records. When I discovered that, I didn't think it could do that, because a lot of the time Omni would tell me it can't. And then there was one instance, I'm like, I'm just going to try again. And then it did. So it's really, did that answer your question?
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, I found the same thing where I'll be like, just changing the word in my prompt. If I change the word update to the word fix, like I'll be like, can you perform these updates? Or instead of perform these fixes, it's like, no, I can't do those updates. And I'm like, but you can though. If I change the word to fix, it's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'm like, okay. Well, yeah, little nuances.
Do you guys just like put that in the back of your head and remember this is how it is? Or is there any documentation about it? How to get
No, not yet. Not that I know of, at least. I think it's so new. And I think every model is like its own set of challenges and own set of like like words that set it off for some reason. But I love this. I mean, what I remembered about your submission the most was like the generating of the workout plan based on what your goals are. And I think I have to say, I've never seen anybody else apply KPIs to their like personal life, which I just absolutely love.
Thank you. I will say at work, it's a lot of that type. Well, we're trying to get Airtable to do that. So I feel like I tend to parallel my work stuff and just apply it to my personal. I was like, yeah, I want to improve on being this player. Yeah, I want to improve on my dancer nutrition. And, you know, just like I'm a big like personal development type of person. I'm very into all of that realm. So you need your metrics. Otherwise, how do you know if you're successful or not? And it's individual.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you have any like are you connecting? Can you do this? Do they have an API for like Fitbit or like Whoop? Like, do you have like any of your data like getting pushed back into here from your workouts?
It's funny. I haven't gotten that far. I just got the Hume band and I've just been manually logging steps. So if I look at don't look at my whole life, but if we look at my week pages,
run for his money.
I was gonna say,
I've been logging my steps. So at least on a weekly basis, I can see how I've been trending. And when I target the 10,000 steps, you should hit 10,000 steps a day. But in actuality, it's only when I go to Zumba, then I do. But yeah, I'm trying to aggregate all those different types of things. I have my dodgeball, I have my dance base, and then my workout base that aggregates them. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going to lead with it, but it's all there for future. I think keeping it structured and trying to keep it all together, it'll come together somehow for me.
Wow. Yeah. So you're all in. You're tracking everything.
My life is in Airtable. I'm not gonna lie. Don't steal my life though, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
What did you have to do during the outage a couple weeks ago?
Oh my God, I was dying. I saw you guys talking about that, and I had to like keep devices away because I use it on my phone a lot for tracking a lot of stuff, and I just had to be a woman of the earth for those hours until the next day. Oh, that was awful. Yeah.
Very cool. And are you planning to submit something for this hackathon? No, you're a judge, so you can't.
I can't for the other ones, but I don't think it's not very AI focused. I couldn't think of anything that AI could do. I tried getting it to draw, but I don't have, I think, the connections where it actually generates an image. So it's trying to pull an image from the internet and it keeps failing and failing. But I will. It's my telephone app. Spoiler alert. But I basically, for this submission, I was really targeting something that I could play where somebody didn't have to have an Airtable licensed account. So it was a lot of, the external standalone public like forms and how I can have them still be able to sign up and play and set up games without my intervention or like manually updating things. So I kept going around the like player pathway, but when I'm playing by myself with like 3 of like other people's users, but trying to understand that path, it got hard, but it'll be this. I'm still happy about it because I haven't pushed anything that's really more like generated towards the public that doesn't need a license, and it's hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
patience.
Yeah. And it's not a good user experience either. So, but I think it's still a fun game to play.
Yeah.
That's super fun. Was that probably the biggest challenge you faced?
Yeah. And that was my goal for myself going into the hackathon. I was like, oh, I already won it and I'll focus on the build-a-thon. But I really wanted to see how complicated it would be just to have people engage and play without that license. And that's like been the like main hurdle that I've been trying to work through, just using email and just like standalone forms that are public facing to play a game and then be able to see the rounds that they have. So like one that I was testing last night. So basically, context for telephone Pictionary, somebody puts in a random phrase and then somebody draws that phrase, and then the next person tries to guess what that previous picture was. And I was just playing around with like digital images. I wanted AI and Omni to try guessing these things, but I didn't get to a point where it's doing it in a way that is fun. So I just have these single rounds right now.
Huh, that's a good idea.
I love that.
But I will say, sorry, go
ahead.
I was like, when I was working through this, I'm also watching Traders, and I was like, this would be a really good way to play Traders. And like people just voting people off and murdering and banishing them. It's, I think people would have fun with that. Or maybe that's just me. Do you guys watch Traders?
I haven't, but I just heard about it the other day. Like it's a British show, right?
Yeah, it originated in the UK.
I've heard it's like really what I like about it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like minor celebrities play this like reality game show, but the prize is like a little trophy or something. Like it's like they don't like get any money out of it. Like it's just like bragging rights and like a tiny little trophy or something, which I love.
Oh, I can see that one. That's funny.
Yeah, going back to the hurdle with allowing outside people to interact with it, like that's the challenge, like with your dodgeball, like making it a community site. It's like you're not going to pay for a license for everybody in the league. Like, could you set it up in a way to allow a community facing interactive session? I wonder
if you guys have any ideas. I'm more than open. It's been on my like long to-do list to try to get some like web facing thing that people can interact, just like put in their info, but still use.
I mean, like the best thing I've come up with in my head is just emailing. It's like you interact with Airtable. Somebody interacts with Airtable, pushes a button, someone else gets an email with like 2 buttons in the email that they could click, and that calls back to Airtable somehow.
If you want to waste your life away, you could create your own base that syncs in whatever information people need to edit and make that a base, I think, and say, everyone copy this and put it in your own workspace so you pay for it. And then they'll be able to edit like from their environment, and the data should sync back up to here. But then everybody's in their own separate base. So you can't really control people like breaking stuff or things like that.
Yeah. I wonder with the new interface custom builder.
I think we're losing.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was me or.
I know, neither was I. And I saw Camille's face. I was like, okay.
Wait, he said new, and I was like, is there a feature release? What happened? What I miss?
Is he talking about portals?
I don't know.
I think he's talking about custom interfaces, like
got it.
They will, or with extensions and custom interface extensions, because they do have write capabilities, but they're not. I don't think you can publicly share them yet. And I would assume they respect the read. If somebody's a read-only user, it probably still like you can't write still.
I'm pretty sure they would have baked that in, because right now it follows whoever is currently logged in, what their user permissions are. So I'm sure they would say if it's on a public page, then the people have read permission, so nothing can happen.
Right.
I'm back.
You're back.
I
We
was
lost
going
you
to
in
say, I don't know. One thought I had was if you create a custom interface extension and have, because you can make those public now, right? You can make a public facing interface page.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't think you could, but like Rob, his Olympic thing was that.
His Olympic thing was, yeah. And so on there, you just couldn't, you'd have to like update the records through the API or something, which would mean be very secure because then you'd expose your API key to the client. But I think it would be possible. I wonder if you could ping an automation with your data. You could post to a webhook.
It shouldn't stop you from doing that, I don't think, because that's not editing data. Right. And Airtable doesn't care where the webhook ping comes from. So you could do that.
Yeah.
You could. It would have to be, it probably couldn't be an Airtable automation directly, or could it? Well, it could.
It could, right, I think.
It could.
So if you set up your interface extension to be like, you log in, maybe you just supply an email at the start, and you could probably save that in session storage so you don't have to do it every time you open the page. You could send that email as part of the webhook so you know who clicked the button and, attach it to whatever record it needs to be behind the scenes. So that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
It could. It would still, they would still need to be logged in, right, to get their email, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to.
Well, I'm
ask for it. Yeah. Camille, you
got muted somehow.
What's going on setups today? You could type it in at the start. When you open the page from the first, like put in your own login screen that might just be email, and then pass that along with every time.
If it's read only though, would that work?
You just save it to local storage.
Right. Airtable doesn't limit the interactivity of the extension. It limits it directly affecting the base in any way. Okay. So if what you're actually doing is calling a webhook and the Airtable automation is receiving that webhook and then modifying data, Airtable should have no way of stopping you from doing that unless they do something interesting behind the scenes. But then you could use Make or N8N or something like that and use their webhooks to, end up in the same place.
Yep, that would work.
Oh, great ideas. Now if Omni can do it for me, what you guys just said.
Yeah. I'm sure it could. Or take it into ChatGPT or Cloud Code and then update
so many possibilities, guys.
Yeah.
It's a great chat. But I do have to hop. I have to get to an appointment. But thank you so much for having me on. This was fun.
Thanks for joining, Erica. Good luck in New York.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Bye. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Oops.
So cool.
Okay. So we'll see what the submissions look like. So maybe on the first episode of the Built on Air podcast, we'll review. Remind me again when you'll announce winners.
The next week, right?
Next week.
I believe either Friday or next week. I need to double check. Yeah. But sometime the 20th or shortly thereafter.
Yeah, very soon.
Yes. Super exciting. I had an idea this morning of what I wanted to build, but I don't think I'm going to actually submit anything, but I want to just still build it because I think it would just be fun.
What was the idea?
Like a listicle game, like something my like brothers and I sometimes do, like when we're having family nights all together. We just like come up with, somebody finds some sort of listicle online, like top 10 most popular car brands or whatever, and then we all just take turns going around and guessing until we fill up the list till we guess them all.
Oh, Family Feud.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly. But I thought it'd be fun with AI, because like it wouldn't really be possible without AI unless you typed exactly what the right, casing is, all the right letters. But now you can have AI kind of fuzzy match what you're guessing. So I thought that would be a fun proof of concept.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be.
I went back and made updates to the game I showed last time, and now it like runs a little bit. I've accounted for more rules in the game, and it runs, I think, a little bit better. But once again, I am not submitting because it wouldn't really be fair.
I think you could still submit for the other prizes, but we wouldn't pick our own. But
mine doesn't use AI, so I'm immediately disqualified from one of the other two prizes. So
there you go.
Yeah.
God, that whole thought of sharing, like that's something I was talking with Mike about as well, is like how you could go about doing that. And then the other piece that you'd run into is like, if you want to share it so that people could like grab it themselves, there's no way to share it if you're using paid content, or like you're using features that other people don't have. If like somebody has a free account and they want to put it into their own, like, but that's always going to be a caveat, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to test that out, though. Like, I want to do a quick test of how good could you get it, and how complicated does that receiver automation need to be? If it's one automation that's supposed to create all the possible records, it probably would like route. I could see it being, you have several buttons in your interface, your custom interface, that all are supposed to do different things, but they all hit one automation that's triggered by a webhook. And one of the properties you pass is not only the person's email or their name or whatever identifier, it also passes what action it's supposed to do, create a new record or sort a certain way, or whatever it is. Then the automation that receives it might have those conditional groups of being like, is the action create record? Okay, trigger this other automation to do that, so that you can have as many steps as you need.
Yeah.
What is the limit on the number of conditional steps you can have? Have you ever pushed?
I don't know if there's a limit to conditional steps, but there's a limit to actions. So every conditional a conditional step doesn't need any actions technically. I do that all the time. So I think the limit is still 25 steps, unless I've missed an update somewhere.
I think if I've hit that action limit.
I've hit that action limit.
That's one way that I've hit it, is exactly that, Camille. I'll have something I do often is I'll have like a field that I name it interface actions or something. And it's one single select with a bunch of different potential actions that a user might take, and different buttons set different values. And then the automation triggers. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I also wish on those conditional steps that you could go into multiple steps, if it met, if it was not if else, it was just if this. That'd be nice.
I love the newest update with being able to combine conditional logic and loops, but I need a loop within a loop.
Yeah.
I need that's the one thing that I like still need to revert back to scripts for.
Yeah, it's so useful what they added, but I know exactly what use case they avoided. And man, is that the one I need.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I use that all the time. I don't know how we survived without the combination of the two.
You used a script, or you grinned and bared it. It was like I was doing stuff where like you had a loop, right? And then the first step was to update the record with something, and then the result of that, if you had a formula on that same record, the formula would have updated based on whatever you just filled in. And that formula output is the conditional output that I want to add to a different field. I've had to do that all the time because there is no other way to get a variable value in there without a script inside of a loop. And they have extra fields and you're updating the record twice. So if you're waiting for an update to the record, you're doubling the amount of times that record is being updated. It affects the revision history. It's not a great solution, but you kind of make do with what you got for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it needs sequential order of execution of the loop and a closing step after the loop.
That
Yes.
I am always needing. It's like I want to mark it done. I just want to mark it complete, and I can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so yet another series of workarounds I've had to do where the first step in the automation inserts the timestamp, right? And then there's a loop inside of that automation that's updating the timestamp on whatever records are being linked through. And then I have a formula that's like, or a roll up that's like, are all of the timestamps of the sub records after the timestamp of the main record? Okay, then the automation is finished. And then you could use that same logic and add like progress bars of like, oh, it's 50% of the way through the records based on the timestamp values.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do that because sometimes you're looping through records that aren't related. So the thing I just said only works if all of the records are linked together or linked to some other centralized record. Otherwise, you can't know whether all of them have finished. So,
and if one of them fails, it's like you still want to know that the automation's done running, even if one of them fails. So it's like
exactly.
Then you're just out of luck.
Now let's talk about failing gracefully. In Airtable automations, if it reaches the slightest inconvenience, it stops the whole automation. There are several times where I'll have an automation, let's say it has 5 steps, and step 2 is email these 3 people. If one of those 3 people put their email with a comma instead of a dot, it doesn't send it to the other 2 people who put in their email correctly. Nobody gets the email and the other steps in the automation get skipped. I would love if we could have a little bit finer control of what errors we're accepting versus nope, something was slightly wrong. Nothing goes.
Yep, exactly. It's the same with like if you're trying to insert a list of records into a linked record field, if say you have like the existing value and the new value, and you're trying to just keep it like just append to the end. If you do it one way or the other, I can't remember which way, but if it's like the empty value, comma, new value, that fails. Okay. But if it's new value, comma, empty value, that's fine. But like if you were to copy and paste the same thing, it would work if you were to just paste the same exact value into the field. So I don't know why it fails.
Truly silly behavior.
Yes. Nuances.
Yeah. All right. Well, anybody out there, good luck with your submissions. We'll see what they look like. And Camille and Ali will be judging, as well as Erica and we'll see. We'll do a review session when we come back in April for the Built on Air podcast. We'll review the submissions and winners, as well as the Build-a-thon if there's anything to showcase there. So we'll keep you up to date on everything, and good luck with everybody. Have a great week. Yay. We'll be back in a few weeks. Yeah.